The alert warnings for low power started to flood the machine, so Sister J aimed it diagonally, upwards, and towards the wall, before launching all of the power remaining in one blast. Sister J held his breath as the machine flew towards the wall, and became hopeful with the speed of the blast. However, the blast was going away quicker than he had anticipated. Feet immediately started heading down, and once this had happened, Sister J looked through the cockpit door, and jumped. He was high up enough to have time to think. He looked through his bag, desperately searching for anything at all, that may help him win this losing battle. He had essentially nothing in his bag anymore, other than weapons, random objects, his maracas, and the hardware for tows, including the pocket dimension portal. He tried swimming through the air in one last attempt to touch the wall. He was so close, but the bottom of the wall, and certain death, was quickly approaching him. He was very close to the bottom of the wall, and in one last, seemingly futile effort, he backflipped and stuck out his legs at the wall, stretching them out as far as he could, but this still did nothing. As a quick test, he threw a small piece of leather he ripped off of his bag at the wall. Once it touched the wall, his bag, and everything in it, was gone. Seeing this as his last hope, he tried to break off his fingernail. He hit his finger as hard as he could. It was extremely painful, but he barely even noticed it out of fear. He finally broke a clipping of it off, but was already below the wall. He threw it straight up, but nothing happened. His stomach sank as he sat falling through the void for several seconds, with nothing changing. Just as he was about to react, he suddenly was teleported to the small island with the now smoldering remains of the infirmary. He cheered in excitement, and after he calmed down noticed that his bag was placed down not far from himself. He checked inside, and everything was still inside, and the leather he ripped off was reattached, reminding him to check his finger, which surely enough had his finger and nail both fully healed. He put his bag on. He had all his power left. He used his magic to create a mold of a flight machine, and filled it with the hardware of feet, and named this machine Awesome Nullifying Killer, Lovely Addition, or Ankle for short. He decided to search for the location of Deader Beast, and realized that he was still marked on the strange planet. He also checked his location history, and realized that from the exact moment he was brought to the planet and brought out, he was marked at the same exact location. This means that the location did not update on the planet, so Deader Beast was still there. He then searched the location history for the other members of Anti-Legion. Through the location history, he was able to piece together a timeline of what had happened. It appeared that after he set the fire, the members had woken up and began to run around. Gradually more and more started teleporting to Deader Beast after realizing that he was somewhere else. Eventually, all of them had teleported to him, and were now all with Deader Beast. Still, Sister J had so many questions. Where really was the planet? Why did the terrain slowly change? How did Deader Beast end up there? What was the ancient civilization? For now, there were no answers in sight for these questions, so he used Ankle to absorb the infirmary, and decided to search to expand his group, the 4th Legion, and maybe some actually good people this time. Sister J, adorned in his celestial armor, embarked on a quest to assemble a team of extraordinary individuals to safeguard the realms of the Sephiverse. His celestial sword gleamed with a resolute purpose as he traveled across distant lands, seeking those whose unique talents could harmonize with the celestial energies that pulsed within him. His first recruit was Lyra, a skilled archer with an uncanny ability to read the constellations. Lyra's arrows were imbued with celestial energy, guided by her intuitive understanding of the cosmic patterns. Sister J discovered her practicing her archery beneath a starlit sky in a universe that seemed to be surrounded by a void, and he recognized the celestial resonance within her. Next, Sister J encountered Orion, a mighty warrior known for his strength and courage. Orion wielded a colossal hammer infused with the power of falling stars. The consciousnesses within Sister J sensed a kindred spirit, and after a fierce but respectful duel, Orion joined the celestial guardian on his quest. In a bustling city, Sister J discovered Melody, a gifted mage with the power to manipulate sound waves. Melody's magic resonated with the celestial energies, creating harmonic symphonies that could heal or disrupt as needed. Impressed by her control over the unseen forces, Sister J extended an invitation to join the 4th Legion. As the group journeyed through ancient forests, they encountered Sylvan, a nature guardian with the ability to commune with the spirits of the land. Sylvan's connection to the natural world resonated with the celestial balance sought by Sister J. Together, they ventured into the heart of Eldoria's wild landscapes. The team grew in both strength and diversity as they recruited Luna, a rogue with an affinity for shadow manipulation, and Sol, a brilliant inventor whose celestial-powered gadgets harnessed the energy of the sun. Each member brought a unique set of skills that complemented the others, creating a harmonious blend of talents. Sister J also sought counsel from Basho's consciousness, the wise sage of Spanish, whose linguistic insights and philosophical understanding added a layer of depth to the team's interactions. Itsumi Mario, a playful bard with a knack for poetic magic, joined as the final member, bringing laughter and levity to their cosmic endeavors. United by a common purpose and bound by the celestial energies that flowed through each of them, Sister J's team became a formidable force against the growing threat of Anti-Legio. Their adventures took them across realms, from ancient temples to celestial citadels, as they worked together to maintain the delicate balance between cosmic forces, and upgrade Ankle. Under Senior JS leadership, the celestial team became not just a group of individuals but a celestial family, each member contributing their unique strengths to protect the realms they called home. Together, they stood as a shining beacon of harmony in a universe filled with cosmic challenges. Now that, for the first time, Sister J actually had a decent team, he sent each of the members out on a quest to gain power. Sister J himself decided to investigate back at the universe where the infirmary once was. He went there, and tracked the location of all the Anti-Legion members. Strangely, while most of them were still in the exact same spot as before, Diaderbeast's dot suddenly disappeared, and teleported right where Sister J was. Sister J was confused, until he heard screaming, and Diaderbeast fell from the sky and landed on Ankle. Sister J got out of Ankle, and began fighting Diaderbeast. Diaderbeast was clearly already beaten up, so the fight was not hard. Still pondering what had happened in this universe before, he began to question Diaderbeast about it. Diaderbeast that a little while after he had been transported to the infirmary, he decided to gain some power. He went outside, and noticed a small rope coming out of the bottom of the island that the infirmary was on that was not there before. He pulled on the rope, and started to feel strange. He passed out, and woke up on the planet. Then, Anti-Legion members gradually started teleporting to him like Sister J had assumed. They explored, but did not decide to look deep into the ancient civilization, only deciding to try to leave. They found an abandoned spacecraft in one of the ruins that still worked. They flew in a journey described the exact same as Sister J's, until they were almost at the wall. The spacecraft was low on power, so when it ran out of power Diaderbeast and the Anti-Legion members jumped towards the wall. Diaderbeast stumbled while jumping, hindering his jump. He saw that all the other Anti-Legion members were going to comfortably make it to the wall, so he took his opportunity and pushed off of the tops of each member, launching him far enough to reach the wall, while also dooming all of the other Anti-Legion members to the void. This was all Diaderbeast was telling Sister J, but he could have been holding back information. He was too powerful for Sister J to directly read his mind, so for now Sister J put him in a cage made out of the strongest material he could create. He looked at the bottom of the island, and saw the rope Deodar Beast was talking about. He knew that he couldn't directly touch it, so he threw some dirt on it as a test. The dirt started to melt, and then seemingly bent through space-time, before disappearing, presumably to the planet. Sister J started tearing apart the island slowly from the top, until it was only the non-natural parts that remained. The rope extended about halfway through the island, where it connected to a small box. Sister J threw some more dirt at the box, but it did not disappear, meaning that the box was safe to touch. He removed the box, and saw that the rope was coming out of a rift in space-time. He looked through the rift, but it was very dark. He could only see the rope, which extended up into the darkness. Just as he was about to investigate more, a skeletal hand quickly swiped at the rope, and pulled it up until it was no longer in view, and then closed the rift. Sister J was forced back out, confused. He looked at Deodar Beast's cage, which had a gaping hole in it, and a note on the bottom. He read the note, and it only said that Deodar Beast had simply to summon water on the material, as it was not resistant to water. Sister J absorbed the cage, and left. By now the rest of the 4th Legion had returned to Sister J, who explained everything he knew to them. They all shared the power they had all gained, and tried to search for Deodar Beast. However, he had apparently gained enough power to where this was impossible. This was strange, as it had only been a few minutes, not to mention the fact that Sister J had become more powerful during this period. After a couple of hours of gaining power with Ankle, the 4th Legion had an idea. They made upgrades to Ankle to make it as fuel efficient as possible, put all of their power and magic into it, and teleport to the members of Anti-Legion. As they expected, instead of being directly at them, they were back at the center of the planet. But now with Ankle's upgrades, they would not be running out of fuel. This time, they were quickly able to reach the void while having almost twice as much power as when Sister J first appeared here. Using Ankle, they flew out to the wall, but did not go in. They flew down, and started to use Ankle's heat-seeking tracker. They then found heat, which had to be Anti-Legion. However, the 4th Legion had forgotten that Anti-Legion could have gone in any direction, so the members were on the opposite side of the void. They flew Ankle back to the main area, gathered fuel, and went the other direction, which was the same as the direction they first went in. They stopped at the wall, and flew downwards. They had to fly for a few minutes until they reached the Anti-Legion members. There, they were still alive, but since they were in the void for a few days now, they were almost dead due to thirst. Sister J caught them with a net, and brought them into Ankle. He flew up and into the wall, teleporting himself and everything else back to the universe where the infirmary once was. He there gave power to all the other members, and explained what had happened. They were all angry at Deodar Beast and thankful that the 4th Legion had rescued them. Because of this, they sought revenge towards Deodar Beast, and were easy to convince into joining the 4th Legion. The 4th Legion had a lot of members now, but they still wanted more. Crick McLean suggested that they go back to the Dramaverse, and once they went to the Dramaverse, they saw a mountain, with a large hole going straight through it. They followed into this hole, and started to hear a rolling noise. This noise got louder and louder, until they found the source. There was a large, spherical object rolling directly down the hole, and digging it at the same time by just rolling into the ground. Eventually, they caught up with this and attached it to a rope, and swung it all the way out of the mountain. They went back, and saw what it really was, La Shana Ball, or La Bamba. They took La Bamba and threw her at Ankle, knocking her out and giving her enough drain damage to join the 4th Legio. The 4th Legion left the Dramaverse and started flying around in ankle, until they found a cantaloupe that looked suspiciously like Will Smith. They asked it if wanted to join, but it did not respond. Suddenly, the cantaloupe that looked suspiciously like Will Smith disappeared, and forced every 4th Legion member to put in eye ointment, temporarily blinding them all. This angered the 4th Legion, so they teleport the father of the cantaloupe that looks suspiciously like Will Smith. They told his father, or Mr. CTLSLWS for short, what his son had done. The cantaloupe that looked suspiciously like Will Smith told Mr. CTSLSLWS that the 4th Legion was lying. This enraged his father, who punished him severely. After this, both the cantaloupe that looked suspiciously like Will Smith and Mr. CTLSLWS joined the 4th Legion. The 4th Legion decided to go get one very strong member for themselves, so they started brainstorming. Eventually, they just decided to fly around the Sephiverse in ankle with a power radar, to find a large source of power. They found a few good contenders, but they were all non-living things, but the 4th Legion put these in the pocket dimension, which had also been linked to the rest of the members. Eventually, the Fluffin' Puffin's consciousness suggested that they search around the Nintendo multiverse. In this multiverse, there was only one universe showing an extreme amount of power, the Miiverse. They went into the Miiverse, and followed the power, which led to the boxing area. In the boxing area, they finally found the source of the power, Matt from WII Sports. Matt, sensing that the 4th Legion were a disruption, immediately began to attack. Before they could explain themselves, multiple members of the 4th Legion were almost instantaneously pulverized by Matt's fists. Matt continued to steamroll through the weaker members, whose attacks he would block by keeping his hands up on guard, dealing minimal damage to him. Only the strongest few members of the 4th Legion were still standing, of course including Sister J. They all temporarily combined into Furjun, and started punching Matt, dealing the first real damage Matt had felt in this fight or really, ever. Matt continued to punch all the different parts of Furjun, until it had almost been destroyed. Furjun let out a massive beam of energy through its mouth as a last-ditch effort, seemingly knocking Matt out. However, when they got closer, Matt revealed that he had only been using 10% of his power, and he started to use all of it. Now, it was an escape mission for the 4th Legion, so Furjun disassembled back into the original members and picked up all of the defeated members and revived them, and started to flee. They hopped in ankle, and started to fly away. After a minute, Matt still was nowhere to be seen, which was strange. Suddenly, they heard Matt counting down from 10, and when he finished he told them that their head start was over, before catching up to ankle in mere seconds. The 4th Legion were confident that they were safe in ankle, as it was heavily armored, but Matt simply stood in front of them. They flew straight at him, cleanly cutting ankle straight in half. The 4th Legion reassembled into Furjun, this time with all the members, and started punching Matt. It did in about 0.5% of Matt's HP before Matt pummeled its face in and launched it straight back to Miiverse. Before Furjun had even a second to heal, Matt flew in with his fists out like a comet, striking Furjun. Furjun knew that there was no chance of them beating Matt by normal methods, but then they had an idea. Matt was a me. Me-s could be grabbed by the head, and only flail around, and not do anything else. Matt came back, and punched Furjun from side to side, with one devastating strike to the stomach, forcing Matt over, and as he bent over a powerful uppercut. As Furjun fell, Matt punched him into the wall. Matt lunged at him for one more strike, but Furjun grabbed him by the head, completely rendering Matt useless. While they had come to recruit Matt, Furjun felt angry enough at Matt to simply put him in the deletion button. Before they could confirm this action by clicking the yes button, Iteld came out and told them that that was a big ol no, so Furjun took Iteld into the 4th Legion and Matt out of the deletion menu. They expected Matt to stop after taking him out of the menu, but the second they pressed no, he instantly unleashed a fury of punches onto Furjun, absolutely destroying him. Furjun somehow mustered up the strength to run away, but after just a few seconds Matt grabbed him by, ironically, the ankle and started slamming him on the ground from side to side. Furjun mustered out the words to ask Matt if he wanted to join, and what their true intentions were, but Matt asked them if they had any good reason for him to join. They told him that if Beast grew more powerful, he could become an even stronger boxer than Matt was. Matt thought about it, and because of this he accepted and joined the 4th Legion. Furjun disassembled, and created a clone of Matt to take his place in the game. They went to the 2 halves of ankle, and fixed it up. With Matt's extreme amount of power, ankle became far stronger than it was before, and they then named it Logical Extermination Gadget, or leg for short. They boarded leg, and saw that they could track down Beast's location now because of Matt's power. They did this, and headed off to Beast. Once they had arrived, the air crackled with tension as the Celestial team, united as one, faced their greatest adversary, Beast. This malevolent entity, who had grown stronger from the twisted energies of chaos and darkness, sought to plunge the Sephuverse into eternal night. The 4th Legion combined back into Furjun, a radiant amalgamation of celestial power, prepared for a battle that would determine the fate of their cosmic realm. Beast loomed over the celestial landscape, a grotesque fusion of shadow and decay. Its monstrous form exuded an oppressive aura that threatened to snuff out the celestial light. Sir J, at the helm of this cosmic entity, gazed upon the approaching darkness with unwavering determination. The merged being, a harmonious blend of Lyra's archery, Orion's might, Melody's magic, Sylvan's nature mastery, Luna's shadow manipulation, Sol's inventive brilliance, Basho's linguistic wisdom, Itsumi Mario's playful enchantments, Matt's raw power, and all the other members' consciousnesses and the overarching leadership of Sister J, radiated with celestial energy. The battle commenced as Beast unleashed tendrils of dark energy, attempting to smother the celestial light. Lyra, with her celestial-infused arrows, shot beams of light that pierced through the shadows, creating bursts of brilliance in the darkened sky. Orion swung his star-infused hammer with thunderous force, striking against the encroaching darkness. Melody weaved harmonic spells that resonated with the celestial frequencies, creating protective barriers and healing energies. Sylvan summoned the spirits of the land, entwining the battlefield with roots that resisted the corruption of Beast. Luna manipulated shadows to counter the dark tendrils, while Sol unleashed celestial gadgets that harnessed the power of the sun. Basho's linguistic prowess deciphered the ancient incantations of Beast, revealing weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Limerick Lila's whimsical verses disrupted the creature's concentration, sowing confusion within the dark entity. Sister J, as the celestial guardian and leader, directed the unified efforts of his team, channeling their collective powers into a celestial surge that confronted Beast head-on. The merged being glowed with celestial radiance, pushing back against the oppressive darkness. The cosmic clash reached its zenith as the celestial team, now a radiant force of unity, confronted Beast in a crescendo of celestial energy. With a final surge of power, Sister J and his merged companions unleashed a brilliant burst of light that engulfed Beast, eradicating the malevolent entity from existence. As the cosmic energies settled, the celestial team, still merged, stood victorious. The celestial light reclaimed the Sephuverse, dispelling the lingering shadows. Slowly, the merged beings separated back into individual forms, each member of the celestial team breathing a collective sigh of relief. Sister J, surrounded by his celestial companions, surveyed the now tranquil landscape. The victory against Deoder Beast was a testament to the strength found in unity and the harmonious balance of celestial forces. The Sephiverse was once again bathed in the gentle glow of cosmic light, protected by the unwavering guardianship of Sister J and his celestial team.